My name is Asrar Khan, and I'm a Senior Business Development Manager for Microsoft for Startups team. Today, I'm joined by our esteemed guest, Madhu Sudhakar, co-founder and CEO of Aisera, a very strategic partner of our Microsoft for Startups program. In the next 30 minutes or so, you'll learn how Aisera is teaming up with Microsoft to offer employees a next-gen AI service desk and how employee support requests are handled and resolved by Microsoft Teams, thus driving better productivity of the workforce. At this time, I want to remind everyone of our Microsoft Code of Conduct. At Microsoft, we seek to create a respectful, friendly, fun, and inclusive experience for all of our participants. We encourage everyone to assist us in creating a welcoming and safe environment. Thank you. Now, in terms of the actual agenda for the presentation, we'll provide a high-level overview of the Microsoft for Startups program and then deep dive into Aisera's AI service desk solution and the difference it's making for enterprise customers. Now, as we all know, Microsoft's mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more, which includes our startups. How can we help great startups anywhere in the world to empower their businesses? That's really the question we ask startups like you and set ourselves to deliver Microsoft for Startups, a program designed from the ground up to reinvent what's our role in helping startups to grow, seeing startups as a true partner across all Microsoft platforms, products, and business motions. Microsoft for Startups is an exclusive program dedicated to helping qualified enterprise-ready B2B startups rapidly scale their companies. We do this by providing access to trusted technology, including Azure, GitHub, Office 365, and much more, combined with access to customers via Microsoft sales and marketing engines, which provide a streamlined path for startups to connect their innovative solutions to the world's leading enterprises. Now, benefits of the program are also focused on these two pillars around technical enablement and business and sales acceleration. The first pillar is really about access to technology, which includes access to Azure, powerful developer tools, including Visual Studio and GitHub Enterprise, in addition to Microsoft Power Platform and collaboration tools like Office 365. In addition to that, we also offer enterprise-level technical support and architectural design sessions, along with one-on-one consultations with our product groups and engineering teams. The second pillar, however, is centered around business and sales acceleration and connecting innovative startups with Fortune 50, 100, 500, and 1,000 customers with a streamlined path to partnership with Startup Engagement Manager, who is a dedicated resource to help startups navigate their partnership with Microsoft. We also assist startups in getting your startup solution listed in the commercial marketplace, so it's available for customers to use all over the world. And most importantly, connection to Microsoft sellers who are compensated to sell your solution into their enterprise accounts to retire their quota. Attendees can learn more by visiting startups.microsoft.com. Now with that, it's my pleasure to hand it over to Madhu Sudhakar, co-founder and CEO of Aisera. Thank you. Over to you, Madhu.
Thank you, Asrar. Appreciate you having us, and it's been pleasure to be part of Microsoft Premier Ignite conference. So thank you. With this, my name is Madhu Sudhakar. I'm the co-founder of Aisera. The topic I want to talk to you is very near and dear to me. It's about how we can help employees and users to handle their request in a self-service manner using Microsoft Teams. And that's a topic that I want to share with you and our thoughts and our journey as we try to help customers and partners. With this, first, the foremost, the question is, why invest in remote working environments? How do we help employees, right? What is the role AI can play, if it any? So I think before we started, it's always important to understand what are the three reasons that this is going to really improve. First, you have to look for, is there a driving business reason? Is it going to help you increase your revenue or grow your business faster? Second, is this going to help you create new business models or adopt innovative business ideas that will help drive you more revenue growth? Finally, will it help you grow, retain, adopt, and engage more users and consumers and employees in this way? It has to fit, the objective has to fit into one of these three pillars, in my opinion. And that's the reason I always tell customers and partners to figure out which of these solutions or problem or the pain points you want to solve. With this, let's look at also the challenges that remote working environments are posing to all of us, right? The first, with the what happened with the COVID and going to be the new baseline going forward is the lack of self-service. Employees and users and customers are going to demand self-service for all their applications, environment, and business systems. It's also increasing the number of requests that are growing exponentially. Sometimes the wait times are going much longer, right? People are making these requests and they want to get the job done. And remember, all the systems are designed for human consumption. Most enterprise systems are dependent on humans. You have to make these systems consumable by people, users, and services in a self-service manner using AI and machine learning. Finally, the costs are going up due to lack of hyper-automation and AI. So these are some of the challenges that our customers and partners have been talking to us during this remote working challenges time. With this, how can we solve this problem? I think the solution to this is by using AI and automation. First is if you can leverage those two technologies to solve users, able to enable users with virtual assistant, that will be great. That will empower users, they can get their job done. Second is use AI and automation to drive automation to the next level. It's called hyper automation in terms of user request, service request, customer request, and so on and so forth. Finally, can you make your help desk, service desk, customer support, service cloud, can we make those autonomous? Our trading departments are autonomous, our cars going to be autonomous. Is there a way we can make our enterprise operations, business operations autonomous from customer service and support, right? So there are ways to solve it. There are many solutions in the market. And I wanted to kind of give you a couple of solutions in the market that's important and share with you. One is the new age of solutions that are happening in the last 12 to 18 months. It's called unsupervised conversational AI. Conversational AI is a new class of technologies that are being just coming to market with. Gartner just created a category for conversational AI. These unsupervised conversational AI solutions, they can handle virtual, they are like next generation virtual assistants for your solution in Microsoft Teams, Slack, through email, and through voice, right? So the idea of the unsupervised common AI solution is to apply natural language processing, NLU, to try to interpret the user request, understand the meaning and the intent, and able to resolve the request. There's a second class of solutions called guided flows or supervised guided flows. Some people refer them as chatbots, where you understand, predetermine what are some of the common questions are, and provide a request response solution. And all of us have seen those chatbots for the last 4 or 5 years. Those things are still in place. There's a place for them. But I think the next solution, next generation will be the unsupervised conversational AI will include, or it'll be a superset of what is already offered by chatbot solutions. Third is the search. What used to be enterprise search becoming cognitive search. Some people call it cognitive AI search, where the semantic engines with applying AI will offer next generation solution to users. Finally, at any point in the flow, what the users are demanding is the user should be able to seamlessly, easily able to talk to a live agent if they chose to do so, and able to provide that escalation path or that migration path so that a user or a consumer can talk to a support agent is very important. So how does this solution works end to end? So here I'm showing you a user coming on the left side, making a request. I call it, this is where if you can handle this request as a service, that's what I mean by request as a service. So here is Aisera taking those requests, trying to interpret and actually putting the fulfillment, resolving the request. Now, any request that Aisera is not able to solve here through our AI service code will open up as a ticket and service desk. That should be an exception. So if I can handle even 70, 80% of those requests, where take the employee user request, resolve them, and only few requests go to the service desk, that would be a great steady state for enterprises, right? And then within this environment, what will happen is the service agent will be leveraged to solve the service desk problems and the tickets that are going to service desk. What will be some of the sample questions and requests people ask for? I want to put in the perspective. It could be as simple as I need Office 365 license, or I want to activate my Office 365. I want to reset my password. I want OneDrive access. I want my video cam to be stopped, right? I want my calendars to be synced. People can run into a lot of questions. Or other thing that I've seen is people talk about, I cannot upload my pictures into OneDrive or OneNote into the system, or I want to access to Microsoft Teams. All the requests, either from Microsoft properties or outside of Microsoft properties, these are sample requests users are making today to get their job done. And these requests can happen dynamically, and you can't predict what the user is going to ask. It's not like you know exactly the request they're going to make in their environment. So I want to make it an example of how that request can be automated. Here I'm showing you a simple example of Office 365 provisioning, right? An employee on the left side issues a series of steps to, to make a request for Office 365. On the right side, I'm showing you a corresponding steps of a customer service agent that will follow what the employee request will be to fulfill the Office 365 request. In this traditional classical IT flow of an Office 365 provisioning, you can see there are many steps employee takes, many steps service agent takes. Typically, if you actually see this end to end, the statistics we have seen across the customers is these requests to provision it, get it done 100% takes around minimum a day or even longer in many cases. If I were to automate all these requests in less than a minute, that's the magic we want to offer. And offer it to an employee at any point in time. They can do this thing in middle of the night, daytime, at any point, so they're not blocked. It's not doing their 8 to 5 or 9 to 6 hours when the customer service is available. So here's an employee on the left side making the request saying that I want Office 365. If Aisera can fulfill that request and give access to it and notifies the user, you made the user productive. He or she is able to do their job best going forward. And this is what I mean by Conversational AI and RPA making a game changing. These technologies where you have conversational AI through natural language processing and RPA with hyper automation can be merged to offer a solution like this end to end. Let's take another example. Virtual desktop. Most common. Every company offers a desktop or virtual desktop to their employees. Here I'm showing you a left side a request for a new employee or an existing employee, current employee is asking for a virtual desktop changes. Here are the requests that a virtual employee or employee would go through for a virtual desktop. On the right side, the series of steps a customer service agent would go through to fulfill the request. Now, if you see it, these steps are anywhere between 8 to 10 steps on each by employee and the customer service agent. To fulfill this request on the average takes 7 to 8 days from start to finish. If you can uh, if you can do this thing end to end from an employee perspective, that's a game changing again. And that's what I want to show you. Here, a user or an employee able to request that I need a virtual desktop, and I is able to understand what they want and provision it and give access to it. And if I can do that less than a minute, that is where you are actually improving the productivity of the user, improving the experience. You're also improving the business operations. You don't need hundreds of steps to do this thing manually and block for hours and days on this. And again, back to this, to leverage this, you need the conversational AI and RPA technology to make this happen. The key pieces are, there are 3, 4 technologies that I'm talking about. Conversation, which is comes from natural language processing, AI, and the RPA. Now, how do we address this? As I said, first, you need the solution to be cloud native solution. You want a solution to be fully turnkey, offering this end to end, built in the cloud for the cloud. It also should build with AI at its core. AI as a first native solution inside. It also need to have some kind of a conversation interaction piece to understand what users are asking. This is the user facing, customer facing technologies. So you really need to understand what users are going to ask. So you need a solution like an unsupervised natural language processing where you're not going to supervise it, you're not going to a priori determine what and how it should happen. Finally, you need a robotic process automation to perform the task, actions, and workflows. And that's where the common RPA piece comes in, right? Having these 4 packaged together and create a complete solution end to end that will solve this problem is what Aisera is offering for Microsoft partners and customers using Microsoft Teams. Let's talk about what are the no's. And I call about there are 5 things you don't need to do here. Everybody talks about what needs to happen. The purpose of this slide is to get started on this bet. What you don't need to do it or you should not need to do. First, I don't want you to prepare the data. You don't need to do any historical data collection to get started on this project. You also need to know, don't need any data scientists or AI experts to hire. You don't need to spend lots of time trying to train your algorithms or solutions. You don't need a lot of consulting professional services people to do this. It's not going to take 6 months to make the solution deploy, or even 2 weeks, 2 months. Finally, there's not much data or prep work required to start the solution. The reason I'm putting these 5 no's for a solution like Aisera is the idea is to make it easy for you to make a bet, get started with this next generation virtual assistant solution for your employees and for your users. So what is a tech stack looks like? What I want to leave the thought is this is the new tech stack due to remote working environment that's going to expedite the digital transformation for all the enterprises, whether you're a mid-market or an enterprise. The stack consists of 4 layers. The bottom layer is pick your favorite vendor of choice for your customer service and customer support and ticketing system. It could be ServiceNow, Zendesk, it could be Jira, etc. Similarly, for knowledge, pick your knowledge could be in your SharePoint, it could be in Office 365 documents, it could be in web content, it could be Confluence, etc. Finally, the channel of communication. It can be any channel, like the omni-channel. It could be email, it could be voice, it could be Microsoft Teams, it could be Slack. Finally, stitching all this together, a complete solution to do offer a remote working stack to support customer service support is where Aisera comes in with our AI Service Cloud. So these 4 layers, if you can have it working as a tech stack, that's a new solution that you want to offer to your employees and your users end to end. So finally, so far I talked about digital transformation and I talked about how the experience and productivity. The question is there any savings? Is the business going to get any benefit? Is there a ROI for it? Is this ROI immediate? Is the ROI going to take 6 months, 3 months, 90 days? What we saw with our customers and partners is there is an immediate ROI. In the first 90 days, first 3 months, a AI service cloud solution can offer savings immediately. That savings will come in 3 different buckets, starting from the license cost saving. And this could be across your tools, from ticketing tools to other tool solutions. Agent productivity saving across your customer service and support resources. Finally, user productivity saving. If you add up this, the average saving we have seen for our customers for deploying AI service cloud solution is around $7 million. And we are able to realize and show these savings in the first 90 days. Now, to do this thing, what does it take to do it? This is what I call Microsoft and Aisera together. Bringing it together can happen end to end. I'm showing you the left side. The users can be in Microsoft Teams. In the middle is where Aisera is trying to interpret the Microsoft request and able to fulfill all the solution from Microsoft properties. It could be Microsoft Dynamics 365. It could be Microsoft Confluence, Microsoft SharePoint. It could be Microsoft Office documents. It could be Microsoft Active Directory. It should be Microsoft OneDrive. All of the properties plus non-Microsoft properties. Idea is to provide an end-to-end solution. A user can start from Microsoft Teams and able to fulfill requests. And Aisera is coming to bridge this gap. And that's what I mean by Aisera and Microsoft are offering a solution end-to-end and bringing it together. With this, I want to thank you for your time and listening to us. The next part of the presentation is going to be from my colleague, Puru Ambadkar. He is the VP of Product of Aisera. He will walk you through Aisera demo and how this can be realized end to end. Thank you.
Thank you, Muddu. Hello, everyone. My name is Puru, and I run product team at Aisera. First of all, thank you for spending time today to get to know Aisera as a product. Today, I'm going to demonstrate product capabilities such as supervised and unsupervised AI through end user demo using Microsoft Teams and web chat. First and foremost, I want to introduce to admin user interface, which provides unparalleled level of insights into conversations which end users are having with virtual assistant or conversational AI. It offers out of the box KPIs such as resolution rate, customer satisfaction score, escalation rate, or average duration end user is spending on a conversational user interface. Now I'm going to switch to an end user demo using Microsoft Teams. First, I'm going to engage with Aisera's virtual agent by saying hello. Now I'm going to walk you through conversational RPA use case. Conversational RPA uses NLP and NLU to execute tasks on behalf of user. First, I'm going to request an access to Office 365. Office 365 is most commonly used SaaS service in enterprises. So let me first ask for an Office 365. I might say I want access to Microsoft Word. As you can see, virtual assistant is able to understand that I am requesting an access to Word, but organization is using Office 365. So I'm going to go and request an approval from my manager, in this case Rod Welsh. Before I click yes and hit submit button, I want to show that in admin console of Office 365 that I do not have a license for Office 365, and this is me, and I don't have an access for Office 365 license. So I'm going to go ahead and actually click yes and submit a button. And behind the scene, we are connecting to Office 365 licensing API to see if this organization has enough licenses and can provide an access to me for an Office 365 or intent for a Word. So now I'm going to go to Rod Welsh, who is my manager, to see if he got any email for the approval. So now you can see that he just got an email, and I'm going to click to approve, which in turn is going to approve and actually provision an access for me for Office 365. So I'm going to go back here in admin console, and I'm going to refresh and see if I actually got an access to Office 365 license. Now you can see that both the licenses have been consumed, and now checkbox for Office 365 business has been enabled. If I go back to my Microsoft Teams, you can see I got a notification saying that my request has been approved and provisioned. So now I'm going to go to another example of a conversational RPA. Most commonly use case is that user requesting either accessing to a distribution list or creating a new distribution list. In this case, I'm going to say add me to DL. You may notice that the virtual assistant is able to understand DL is nothing but a distribution list, which is a synonym to a DL. Now is asking me to select which group I want to be a part of, and I'm going to say I want to be a part of the administrator, so that I have superpowers to manage my organizations. Before I click submit button, I am going to go quickly to an admin console of Active Directory here, and now you can see here I am Puru, and I'm only part of the domain users group. So I'm going to go ahead and actually minimize this window, and I'm going to say go ahead and actually submit it, my request. Now behind the scene, we are connecting to an on-prem Active Directory and adding me into an administrator group so that I can have a superpowers. So I'm going to go back into the admin console, and I'm going to double click here and see if I now have become a part of an admin group. So now you can see that I am become a part of an admin group. So the key takeaway here is that most common tasks can be done without agent's help by end user itself. And in this case, this actually helped me, and I'm going to click yes on this one, and I'm going to move on to a little bit more complex use case. Here I'm going to demonstrate the power of Microsoft Teams form, and I'm going to say that my network is very slow. Now let's see what it comes back with. So it has come back with saying that I can actually create a network policy, and now that network policy is for creating is going to walk me through step by step using the Microsoft Forms capability. Now it's going to ask me 4 or 5 questions to create the network policy. It's asking me, should I allow guest Wi-Fi, and I'm going to say no. It's saying no, should I allow HTTP and HTTPS access, and I'm going to say go ahead and actually do that. Restrict access only during office hours. I'm going to click yes. Is asking me whether I should restrict any particular protocol. I'm going to say FTP. It's going to ask me whether which group should be given an access to Office 365. I'm going to say go ahead and actually create only engineering group is going to ask me if I should restrict any applications such as YouTube, which could consume a lot of bandwidth, and is going to ask me one more question about whether I should block P2P application. I'm going to say go ahead and block because they might consume a lot of network bandwidth. So here's the overview of the review or preview of the bandwidth policy, and I'm going to go ahead and say go ahead, create this, looks good to me. And this has actually indeed actually helped me solve my problem, so I'm going to click yes, and glad that Aisera assistant is able to help me. So now I am going to switch to conversational AI use case. So far what we have seen that we have used Aisera's virtual assistant to address IT related question, but it can be also be used for others departments such as HR, facilities, finance, sales operations. So I'm going to go and ask a most commonly used questions related to HR, which is need help with HR. Help me with HR. Now what you are seeing is that has understood the intent of the user, saying that he needs some help with related to HR support, and is asking is what kind of a help is required. So is guiding the user in a supervised way to get his questions addressed. So I'm going to, in this case, say I have a question about payroll, right? And I'm going to hit submit, and it's going to ask the user a follow-up question saying that what kind of a payroll question you have. Do you want to know more about when the payroll date is? Do you know about tax information? I'm going to say no, I want to know more about actually the payroll dates, and I'm going to hit the submit. And that essentially is going to help user get his answer about a payroll. And this is very powerful because you can use this supervised experience for most commonly asked questions. Now I'm going to, if the user is asking more accurate or precise questions such as when is a payroll, in this case the virtual assistant is directly going to the right section of the article and providing an answer. In that case you really don't need a supervised experience, you can just give an answer directly to the user. So that's essentially the power of what we call unsupervised AI. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to switch from Microsoft Teams as a channel to a web chat. So we have created what we call the fictitious company called Acme, and I'm an employee of an Acme, and I'm on right now their IT service portal. I have logged in as myself, and I'm going to open what we call a web chat. So I'm going to ask some basic simple questions saying that I need help from working from home. So let me try that. I need help to work from home. So now what you are seeing is that the virtual assistant has come back with the response. This response is driven from the structure of the document, right, in an unsupervised way. So let me go to the document itself and let me walk you through this document. So the document, you can see, has multiple sections. So Aisera's conversational AI has a capability for unsupervised AI and NLP, which is being used in order to drive the conversation with the user by taking an advantage of the structure of the document and then conversing with the user. In this case, it is saying what kind of a help you need to work from home. Is it related to the security checklist? Is it related to the cyber security tips, or do you need to get help about the sharing the files with your teams or to manage your mental health? So I'm going to say I really need some tips around cyber security. and now is giving me furthermore follow-up questions. All of those conversation is driven using the structure of the document using unsupervised AI and NLP capabilities of Aisera's virtual assistant. So I'm going to say no, I need help about managing the passwords, and I'm going to show you one more powerful use case about how unsupervised AI and NLP capability can be used to give more precise answer by looking at the, in this case, the content of the table. So I'm going to say that how much is one password for group. And now you can see that the unsupervised AI capability can understand the structure of the document and can extract the value from the cell and can present the precise an answer to the user without asking user to either go through the entire document and trying to figure it out where that table exists within the document and trying to get an answer to that. That's really powerful. Now with that, I'm going to conclude my demo and I'm going to hand off to Asar, and Asar is going to take from here. Asar, stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Puru, for bringing everything to life with your demo. For all of our attendees, please be sure to tune into Aisera's live interview at Microsoft Ignite. You can find all the details in the session catalog. The title of the session is Future of Work, AI-driven self-help resolution using Microsoft Teams. And then we also have some resources that you should definitely go out and check. So to learn more about Microsoft for Startups, please go to our website, startups.microsoft.com. Aisera also has a solution on our marketplace. Please check it out, along with some customer studies that we have done collectively, and would love for you all to follow us on our social handles. And then finally, to continue your learning journey with Microsoft at Ignite and beyond, please go to microsoft.com/learn. With that, again, thank you so much for your time today, and we wish and we hope you have a great rest of Ignite. Thank you.